There was a lot of money handed out by the government last year. You get a check and you get a check. Everybody gets a check. Which poses the question, how is this gonna affect your taxes in 2021? Well, we're gonna get into that right now, so hit that like button and let's get started. Hello there, my name is Caleb and my goal is to teach you financially what you may have not been taught in school. I'm truly honored that you're here. Last year's chaos brought the need for unemployment and stimulus checks to help many people get through their financial challenges. First, we had the $1,200 stimulus checks. The $600 per week of unemployment started right about the same time. Shortly after, the Small Business Administration began to give out forgivable PPP loans in order to help small businesses retain their employees. Then the second stimulus check of $600 was sent out at the beginning of this year. And some people are still waiting for it. How does all this free money affect your taxes come April 15th? The short answer, it depends on how it's classified, so I'm gonna try to answer that question as well as I can right now. Quick disclaimer, I am not a tax expert, so you should do your own research and you should talk to a CPA if you have any questions. First, the stimulus checks are not taxable, so you can take one sigh of relief. Or two if you've gotten the second check. The unemployment checks, on the other hand, are taxable, not only by the federal government, but also by the state, depending on the state in which you reside. If you live in California, New Jersey, Oregon, Pennsylvania, or Virginia, you're in luck because you get to keep your unemployment benefits free of state income tax. Same with those who live in tax-free income states like Tennessee and Texas. So jealous. In the remaining states, like Ohio, taxes will need to be paid for these unemployment benefits when filing the state and federal income tax returns. One thing to note, when you signed up for unemployment, you should have had the opportunity to opt in to have taxes withheld from each check during that time which you were receiving them. If you did have taxes withheld, you have nothing to worry about. If not, you may have some preparation to do. But with it being February, you still have a little bit of time to save up before your tax bill comes due on April 15th. If you normally get a large tax return, you might not owe anything. It just depends on how long you've been on unemployment. What I would recommend is go to a service like TurboTax, fill out the income and unemployment information, and then you'll know if you'll receive a tax refund or if you'll owe the IRS when you file. Or better yet, a CPA can look at your taxes and let you know if you owe or not. Now, before we talk about the PPP loan, we've got to thank our sponsor, Fake Flowers. When I found out that this vase was empty, I was like, Bailey, we gotta keep this thing full. Until she laughed at me hard enough for me to re-examine the legitimacy of this flower. On another note, we've never watered it and it's still going strong. Now for the small business owners who got the PPP loan from the SBA. How does this affect your taxes? The short answer is that business expenses that the PPP loan is used for are tax deductible. But keep this in mind. The SBA has very specific guidelines about how the PPP funds can be used. You can't just use the money for business expenses and write it off. For one, 60% of the funds must be used to maintain employee salaries based on historic salaries paid. The other 40% basically has to be used for mortgage interest, rent, and utilities. If any of those funds are not used for those categories within the time period specified by the SBA, those funds cannot be forgiven and will require repayment to the SBA. So let me pass this question on to you. Have you done your taxes yet? Kind of a boring question to be honest, so you can just let me know what your favorite movie is if you'd like. I'm trying to think, but my favorite might be Black Panther. Maybe The Incredibles. Basically, I like superhero movies. In terms of taxes being done though, I mean, mine aren't yet. It always takes a while for me to gather everything for the CPA, and this year it's gonna be even worse because all my time is absorbed in making videos. So you can hit the like button as a thank you, and hit that subscribe button and notification bell because I will really appreciate it. And remember, money doesn't have to be confusing. You can control it. And it's 11:08, so I'm gonna go try to take my average bedtime for 2021 and bring it up before midnight. So thanks for staying up late with me. All right, I'm out.